All right, welcome to week 6. This is your last week, and hopefully everything is up to date at this point because you have a fairly major project due this week. What we're looking for this week is for you to use the exegetical paper that you wrote last week, and then in some way, in some genre, communicate what you learned in that exegetical paper to an audience. So it could be a sermon, it could be a Sunday school lesson, it could be a lesson that you're teaching in a Christian school or a Christian setting, it could be a short story, it could be some sort of an article for a journal or for a Christian publication, but there are any number of genres that you might choose. I will say this to you, that the written page is easier for me to look at and grade, but if you are adventurous and if you have the equipment to do so, if you'd like to video yourself delivering a sermon or delivering some sort of a message or lesson, we'll figure out how to get that to me so that I can evaluate it. You may have to upload it to YouTube and give me the link, that sort of thing. But we can figure that out if that's how you'd like to do it, if you feel like that's the most effective way. One of my favorite ways to communicate spiritual truth is through story. And so if you have an interest in writing story or telling stories, that might be a great way for you to do it as well. Or you might want to just write an academic paper that could be published in a magazine or a journal. Whatever genre you'd like to choose is fine, but you will need to communicate how you have taken that pericope that you chose and use the knowledge that you gained during your research to communicate a message that is appropriate and relevant and hopefully spiritually encouraging to those to whom you would deliver it. So that is the assignment. It's worth 100 points. So it's a major assignment. I really recommend that you put some time and effort into that assignment. You're also going to watch a sermon this week by Tony Campolo, who perhaps is one of the most entertaining preachers that I know. He also happens to be one of the most abrasive preachers that I know. His messages are not pleasant to listen to sometimes. They can really get under your skin and they can really convict your heart. His satirical way of preaching and his kind of attitude that he uses, I don't want to call Tony names, but you'll know what I mean once you watch him. And you may be totally turned off by him. And there have been times in the past when I've watched his sermons and that has been my response. And then you may also be very moved by his sermon and convicted. We'll see. I'll be interested to hear your discussions and see your responses to him. This is the last week. I've enjoyed reading your paper so far. I know that it's going to be great to see how you're going to present what you learned in your exegetical study. And I hope that this course has helped you tremendously in knowing how to prepare. You know, I'll just say this to you in closing. So many pastors, preachers, teachers, those who are leading others, take teaching the Scriptures so lightly. And I just want you to know that what you're handling, what you're dealing with, what you are processing when you study the Word of God is the Word of God. And so it needs to be done with great care and a great effort on your part to make sure that you understand what you're reading, that you understand the context in which it is given, that you understand what the message was to the original hearers, but also to those that you're speaking to. Don't stretch the Word. Don't manipulate the Word to try to mean something that it doesn't mean. And above all, don't use the Word as a weapon to try to get across your point or your agenda or your point of view, but allow the word to change you before you speak it to other people. And if you'll do that, I think the word through you will have a great effect on other people. If you have issues or problems, or you have a special request, or you have a genre you'd like to use this week in your assignment that I haven't mentioned, you want to just make sure it's okay, just message me or call me or text me, email me, and I'll be glad to get back to you. The easiest way, the most efficient way to contact me is through my Tabor email address. That's forwarded right into my Gmail account, and I will see that just about any time of the day that it's received. The message board is a little harder because I have to go to the Tabor website to actually get that. So contact me if you need me. I'll try to get back to you just as soon as possible. I will grade your assignments pretty quickly, and you won't have to wait a long time to know how you did on the papers and what your final grade in the course is. All right, I've enjoyed it. Hope you have learned a lot, and hope to see you soon in another course.